Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, Coach Will here. We're going to talk about approach. And what is approach? It's simply just a plan, all right? No matter what the situation calls for, you got to have a plan, especially as you get older or get into higher levels. The pitcher and the catcher, they're always going to have a plan to get you out. So you have to counter that plan, okay? And so what we're trying to do is it's going to be dictated by the situation. All right, if there's nobody on, your approach or your plan is to simply get on base, hit the ball hard. Okay, we're not trying to overcomplicate things, but what we want to do is what's the best chance that I have to get a hit, and having a plan is going to simplify that. Okay, so let's say there's a runner on first base for a right-handed hitter. All right, if I'm trying to be a team player, but I'm also trying to be an individual and to help the team, I want to look for something middle away, and I want to try and drive that pitch. All right, I don't want to try and pull the ball and hit into a double play, but simply think a middle away, get you a pitch that you can drive, and not just think hit it to the right side, but try to get a hit. Okay, it's a team sport, yes, but it takes a bunch of individuals doing their part in order for the team to win. Okay, so our approach or our plan is going to be dictated by the pitcher's tendencies as well. So let's say the first pitch that everybody in the lineup seen was a fastball away. So that right there is going to help me decide what I want my approach to be, especially the first couple of pitches. All right. If everybody saw a fastball outside, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to try and think middle away and try and crush the fastball away. All right. So I know from my personal experiences that a lot of times, once you have a plan to attack their plan for you, pitchers sometimes they have a tough time trying to come up with another plan. And so then they start thinking and overthinking, and then they start getting wild and they miss their spots. All right, so if we can kind of have a plan to combat what their plan is to get us out, it's going to make our hitting a lot easier. All right, for you guys that are more in high school and college, think about the wind. What direction is the wind? And you're a guy that has a little pop. Think about this. I know when I was at Seminole, and that was one thing that we looked at. And that day we looked at the flagpole. Which way is the wind going out? Okay, because that right there, let's say wind was blowing out to right center one day. Well, my approach was simply middle away, and I'm trying to steal a double or even a dinger. That was my plan. Okay, the wind was blowing in. I knew that day I needed to focus on line drives, base hits, moving guys over, things like that. Another thing is you want to make sure that you get your pitch and you don't miss it. Okay, let's say we foul off our pitch. All right, do we freak out? Do we get nervous? No, man. We say, hey, bring that again. Most of the times you're going to get one, and depending on what level you're probably going to get another one that you can drive. Okay, so make sure that you stay calm. I know a lot of times, I learned this at TCU, but we always had to take a deep breath after each pitch, and then we step back in there. Try to clear your mind a little bit, relax, get some oxygen into the blood, so that those muscles will be ready to fire. Okay, let's see. A lot of times when guys are down 0-2, all right, and again we're going to talk about just try not to get nervous. You want to try and stay relaxed. I mean, the crowd, the opposing crowd might be on you. You got to, again, that's what that deep breath is for. You want to try and just relax yourself, get yourself back to even keel, and just think about battling and protecting. Okay, when you got 2 strikes, you're not trying to hit a home run. All right, you're thinking nice and relaxed. I know I used to try and shorten up a little bit, where I'll get in my stance and I get down a little lower, and I just think nice and easy. All right, and whatever I saw the pitch, I wasn't worried about if it was a curveball. I knew that the one thing that I did not want to do is get beat by the fastball, but in the back of my mind, you gotta know that that off-speed pitch is probably gonna be coming. All right, and so that's where that preparation, if you see pitches, all right, you're watching his warm-up throws, you know that if that ball is coming high, a lot of times he's probably starting that curveball up high, and it's going to finish somewhere in the strike zone. So, and that's why a lot of times the pitchers like to throw that high fastball when they got you 0-2, so they can get your vision up, so they can bring that off-speed pitch down low. Okay, catch you sleeping. All right. What else was I going to talk about? Let's see. We talked about the pitcher's tendencies. Sometimes, and it starts in the hole, like paying attention to what the guys in front of you are doing. You can't just be sitting in the dugout, chatting with your other teammates. You got to understand what's going on. What is the pitcher doing to the guys in front of you? Okay, so if every time he gets a guy 2 strikes, let's say he's throwing him a curveball in the dirt, like what do you think he's going to do to you? He's probably going to do that same exact thing. All right, so if something's working for pitchers, guess what? They're going to stick to it until you make them change. All right, on deck, when you're on deck, don't just get up there and stand around, and actually take those pitches. You know, the check swing things that we do in their drills, where you're actually getting your time off of that back hip. You want to pretend that you got a bat on your hip, or I always say a little weird arm, extra arm. You're born with an extra arm. You're trying to catch that ball off of the hip with that extra arm. Okay, and so when we do the check swing, that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to time it with our backside, okay, instead of our hands or when our front foot hits. Okay, so things like that, that's what you need to be doing on deck. All right, at the beginning of the game, I know the pitcher's getting like 8 pitches. The whole dugout should be out there in front of the dugout, timing that pitcher. They don't have to necessarily swing, but he's showing you his stuff. Fastball, he's going through his windup, he's throwing his fastball. He'll give you some change-ups and some curveball. So instead of just watching them, get out there, work on your timing right then and there. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it, what's he got when you step in the box. All right, so again, approach is just having a plan of attack, how you're going to attack the pitcher, what tendencies he has been showing throughout the game, how they're going to attack you. All right, simple as that. You got to have some type of plan, some type of strategy. All right, and ultimately, guys, this all starts in the weight room, in the cages, on the tee. You can't wait to get in the box to finally decide if you want to be a hitter or not. So all this goes back to all the drills that we talked about earlier. Spending time in the cages when no one's watching you. What are you doing? Okay, because that's what creates a good hit. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.